Welcome to my channel, All for Health with Jane. Family, on this video, we are having Judge Maumela giving a ruling, or maybe rather a decision, on the issue of accused number 3 on the Senzo Meyiwa trial, his issue of being kept in solitary confinement, the issue that he brought to this court for this court to assist him. So, family, in the previous video, that's where we had accused number 3 when he was taken through by Advocate Tefu on this matter for the court to understand, all right, what is the issue, what is the problem with accused number 3, which are the rights that he feels that they are being violated when he is kept in isolation. So because I did not want that video to be too long, family, this is, I decided that maybe I must make a different video where I am giving you the conclusion or decision by Judge Maumela. Family, let's watch and listen.
Yeah. Today, we have had evidence from accused number 3 in this case. There were debates in the morning, and we ended up with accused number 3 testifying as he did, and as should happen in every case, if a person testifies under oath, it gives the other parties the latitude, if not the right, to cross-examine, which is where we should have been. It would have been where we find out whether Advocate Nsholo and Advocate Baloyi should, that one of them should cross-examine. The debate this morning, with regard to which I even differed with Advocate Nsholo, was about the relevancy of what we have just heard. I had a choice of allowing this to unfold forwards and knowing that it would be something near a charade sold to accused number 3 and everybody that is concerned in this trial. I have firmly decided that I cannot go that route. What propelled me from this morning is that I was made to understand that there are ongoings in prison which affect accused number 3, which have potential to threaten, if not to take away his life, if not his safety or well-being. I think his well-being is grievously affected, and if you wake me up in my sleep and ask me about it, I will say maybe this should not happen that way, but it's just me hearing about accused number 3 who is awaiting trial in a case before me. Most of what the testimony went about has nothing to do with the issues that are involved in state versus Sibiya. And I also remember now that it seems to be a repeat, because this was canvassed at the beginning, and I think I said something which I'm going to say again today, that the matter has to do with the way prison authorities are handling accused number 3, if not even more accused than just accused number 3, whilst this case is underway. And back then, I impressed it upon Advocate Tefo that if that be the case, then he should take it up in court, number 1. If not, with the prison authorities, if he chooses to do so. But the impression he gave me today is that they may not even listen to him. But the issue, once they have not listened to him, the question is whether that matter comes onto this bench in this case. And thinking that I had right when I came under the impression that he is either being subjected to torture or assault, which is ongoing, which is threatening his life, other than the assault he claims to have received when he first arrived at Kosimampuru. I felt that I cannot go and have a good night's sleep knowing that there is a person under such conditions. Over and above that, all that accused number 3 was testifying about, which I want to believe he has a right to voice, and about which I believe he has a right to be heard, has nothing to do with the case before us. When I said this at the start of this trial, I remember, if I'm not forgetting anything, that Advocate therefore even told us that he will go to court to assert the rights of his clients. I even, in my understanding, I could have misunderstood him. In my understanding, I thought that he means that he's even prepared to launch an urgent case against the prison authorities, in which he will be asserting the rights of his clients to be observed. The circumstances of the incarceration of accused number 3 are double-fold. He is in custody because there is this case that is unfolding against him and others. Secondly, my understanding is that he is serving some sentence for a case. I even said back then that let us not delve into that, because before me, accused number 3 is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. When I tried to assert that this morning, the retort was that his rights, the rights of accused number 1 to 4, will be suppressed if he is not given a say. And being a human being myself, knowing almost from first hand what happens in our places of incarceration, I felt this has to be given attention. Now I have given that attention. After giving that attention, nothing has been forthcoming that would justify me delving into it and coming up even with a ruling. It has to do with what happens to to convicted inmates, what happens to awaiting trial inmates, of which I want to believe there are protocols that are relevant to that, and it's either they are being followed or they are not being followed. The tinge of relevance that I find is only that, to the extent that whatever is happening, it is affecting the ability of accused number 3 to master a formidable defense in his favor, because he is not together, he is not able to concentrate. That is cause for concern, but should it be a matter for this bench now in this trial? I think if it is a matter to be attended to, it will not be within these proceedings. And when I had way back Advocate Tefo almost threatening, if not promising, to be in court about it, I said within myself, ride on, brother, you are on the right route. And only for this matter to now emerge the way it did today. And like I said, I should have been allowing Advocate Baloyi and Advocate Mshololo to decide what they do about the evidence given. But it will be, in all honesty, it will be parading a charade before everyone. And it will be giving false hope, even to accused number 3, to make him think that after it all, I will have something to say, and which is not the case. I will not have anything to say about the prison conditions. For what I know, they must be just, they must be in line with the law, they must be constitutional. If they are not, if he has a legal representative, that legal representative must do something about it as in yesterday. And as a result, I am not going to have this matter unfold further the way it is doing before me, because after it all, I will have nothing to say. I will be better informed about what he is experiencing. I might maybe even sympathize with it. I might even scream against it, but that's the furthest I will be able to go. And therefore, with accused number 3 having testified the way he did, I am not even going to listen to cross-examination by Advocate Baloyi or Advocate Mshololo. I'm directing, as I do now, that this matter be relayed to the correct channels, even if the accused number 3, because there is mention in that letter about the ability or the wherewithal with which to challenge his situation. If he is not able to fund his protection against those circumstances out of his pocket, there are other avenues to get legal representation. But I would even urge whoever is responsible for his affairs to make sure to approach the prison, to approach court, so that the prison authorities may be called upon to respond, to confirm whether he was telling the truth, or even to challenge it and prove it to have been untruthful, what he was testifying about. So as far as this so-called application today, which is not even an application, it's a letter that was written to this court. All I can say is my sympathy, but no thanks. I cannot make a ruling on it because it is not my sphere, it is not my periphery. It has not come before me in a way that I can be called upon to make any ruling on those issues. And whatever was mentioned about approaching court before, if I were anybody that was asked, I would say that should be the route to go. And if I were to be asked whether it is correct to have anybody in solitary confinement, I would say out and out, it is inhuman, it is unconstitutional, but that's all I can say. It's my comment about solitary confinement. Having said that, the proceedings today, as far as the application is concerned, end here. I am ordering that we stop with what we were doing, because it won't be useful, and it won't produce any useful outcomes.
Can't